Hey fam, here's a thinker for you. What does this chick and this native Australian animal have in common?
It's a baby!
Exactly, except the dingo wouldn't believe that being a big fat obese cunt was advantageous to a long healthy life. In the wild, the dingo needs to stay super fit to chase down its prey, so it can eat to survive. In the supermarket, this woman needs to keep her mobility scooter in good condition, so she can chase down a tray of double glazed donuts to survive a night of watching reality TV and talcum powdering her deepest canyon folds. Fucking gross. Okay, sponsor, then more. Being such a great sponsor of my channel, I obviously use Virtual Shield VPN. They're one of the fastest and by far the most user-friendly VPNs around, and their no-log policy protects your anonymity from any potential data breaches. This month, Virtual Shield is offering an Easter special of 40% off all VPN plans and all premium add-ons, including Protection Plus, residential access, monthly maintenance, phone support, and VIP performance plans for as little as $3 a month. Sign up for a free 30-day trial to Virtual Shield VPN and see what all the hype is about. You've got nothing to lose. Link in the description. Now, I've heard the bellowing manatee calls for fat acceptance and anti-fat phobia. Fat phobia. I'm not fucking scared of you. You're just fucking gross. Okay. But I was pretty fucking taken aback when I saw this headline. Fat sex therapist compares fitness trainers to Nazis. Children's dieting to sexual assault.
You gotta be some type of retarded.
Sonali Rashatoir, whose Instagram username is The Fat Sex Therapist, recently gave a talk at St Olaf College titled Race as a Body Image Issue, in which she compared personal trainers to Nazis and parents putting their fat fuck kids on diets to sexual assault.
Sonali, who uses she-they pronouns, is an award-winning social worker, sex therapist, adjunct lecturer, and grassroots organizer. Based in Philly, she is a fat, queer, non-binary therapist working as a sexual violence crisis counselor, specializing in treating sexual trauma, body image issues, racial and immigrant identity issues, and South Asian family systems, while offering fat and body-positive sexual health care. Popularly known as the Fat Sex Therapist on Instagram, their notoriety peaked when they were featured on Breitbart in March 2018 for naming thinness as a white supremacist beauty ideal.
Yeah, so in she fucking waddles, plants her ass in the extra wide sofa couch that the college had to outsource for this event, then pours out the gibberish. Like, completely nonsensical fucking gibberish. Check this out.
Tonight we're going to talk a little bit about how body positivity often gets pigeonholed into this conversation about self-love, and we don't remember its actual really radical roots. Radical fat liberation is rooted in disability justice, in this idea that all bodies have inherent value, which is inherently intersectional and anti-capitalist.
Radical fat liberation, disability justice. Okay. The one thing she said that did make sense is that all bodies have inherent value. In other words, all lives matter. But I've got no idea how that's supposed to be intersectional or anti-capitalist.
And I found that in that volunteer experience, I really deeply connected with individuals, and I had a really great ability. Is that me? Am I doing that? I'm sorry.
I think you are doing that with the gravitational interference of your big fat disgusting tits.
And also this new niche that I've discovered in working through internalized fat phobia and identifying what that looks like and how to work through it. Because a lot of times it also looks like internalized capitalism.
Yep, you know what? You've got internalized fat fucking phobia because of internalized capitalism. In a strange way, I agree with that. Because if you had internalized communism, you'd probably be fucking starving.
When we find ourselves moving towards using euphemisms like Eurocentric or Caucasian or even white, when we mean to say white supremacist, we are coddling white fragility. And almost like we're allowing the environment of the infection of white supremacy to maintain that environment. Like, you know how mold really likes, dark, humid environments, and that's what we're doing when we don't name it for the violence that it is.
That's right. When you use words like Caucasian or white, what you really mean is mold. Violent mold. You violent, moldy bastard.
When we look at an individual who exists at the axis of multiple oppressions, I want us to not think of those oppressions as a 3 plus 3 equation, but I want us to see it as a 3 multiplied by 3 equation.
Okay, what she means there is if you're a victim, you've got to multiply all the various ways that you're a victim together. So like massive fucking retard, multiplied by huge fat cunt, multiplied by I'm a coloured person. I'm black. I'm not joking, watch this.
So it's a completely different product at the end when you have additional axes, when you exist at the marginalization of additional axes. and body size is one of them. So in some of my examples that we're going to talk about today, we'll see fat white women, but I want us to also imagine how much more difficult it would be if we were to see disabled, fat black women.
Okay, enough fucking around. Let's hear about how this fat fuck got diet raped as a kid.
I was put on non-consensual diets starting at age 8, 9, and 10 by my parents. To me, that was also an example of body image abuse. I was explicitly told by my parents that my body would be worth less in value if it were fat.
Well, I guess that's subjective, isn't it? I mean, if you're a heart surgeon or a liposuction technician, specialist, technician, whatever, then your fat as fuck body is going to be worth quite a bit more than a skinny body, isn't it?
I would be less likely to have a male partner.
Yep.
I'd be less likely to be able to ascend in my career.
Yeah, probably.
I'd be less likely to get a promotion because people would think that I'm lazy based on my fatness.
Well, I mean, you clearly move your body far less than others move their bodies. Some might call that laziness, I don't know.
And they're not wrong.
No, they are not.
Where I know I experienced that as a kid, I would have to hide my food wrappers, like underneath trash, or I'd have to wrap them in other paper in order to throw them in the trash can, because my food wasn't just being surveilled at the dinner table, it was being surveilled by digging through my trash and by going through my car and by asking my friends what I ate when we would go out to eat together.
Okay, firstly, kids don't have cars. And secondly, your parents questioned your friends about what you ate when you went out? Did she have a fucking salad? I told her she could only have a salad and a fucking water. This bitch needs to get a boyfriend and move the fuck out of my house. She's 36, goddammit, and I'm sick of greasing up all the door frames so she can get about. Fuck!
Bodies come in all types of sizes. They are supposed to exist that way. We come from very different places on the planet. Our bodies were meant to do totally different things if we came from the tropics or if we came from the Arctic. And I truly believe that a child cannot consent to being on a diet the way a child cannot consent to having sex.
Okay, so let's say you're a really bad parent and the only groceries you buy every week are a cunt load of lamingtons. Do Americans have lamingtons? I don't think Americans have lamingtons. A lamington is like a cake sort of thing. Let's call it a fucking Twinkie, right? So just say you're a really bad parent and you only feed your kid Twinkies. And you have an epiphany at the grocery store one day and think, gee, maybe I should buy less Twinkies or fucking lamingtons and more vegetables and meat and normal stuff. Well, congratulations. According to this bitch, you're a child rapist. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're raising a kid on a diet of processed cakes, you're a pretty shit parent. But my point is, putting your kid on a diet is not the same as raping your kid. This bitch is insane, and I'll catch you later.
Recession, session. Give me better times, give me better times. Recession.